Hey, what's up? Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and doing a quick follow-up video. Yesterday I did a video of the three different modes of play for Glory Days College Football, which will be an upcoming release via the end of the month. So check out that video for details on that, as well as the different modes of play. And one thing I mentioned when going over the quick play in that video was the ability to, if you were doing a conference replay, to simulate the other team's games within that conference using the quick play mode and not keeping stats, so that you would have results without the slog of playing out a full game, and also tracking stats so that you could do standings and things of that nature. So that's the example I'm going to do today. I'm going to do a quick play, no stat conference game between the Georgia Bulldogs and LSU Tigers. Georgia comfortably favored in this one. Of course, they are the reigning national champions, and LSU had a very subpar year for them. So again, if you want, I'm not going to go too much over the details of quick play. Check that video out from yesterday regarding the three modes. We're going to get right into the action. So for Georgia, their first drive will take place, the first drive of the simulated portion will take place at a +4, and if that drive is successful into plus territory, they will get a +7 for the second portion of the drive. LSU, they're going to struggle to score today against Georgia's defense. Not terribly bad on the first, well, not great either. It's a -5 for the first half of the drive, and a -10, which is as bad as it gets, for the second portion of the drive. So LSU has their work cut out for them at Georgia. Each team gets 11 drives in this game. Georgia already won the toss. I'll be using the optional penalty implementation for quick play. So again, that's also explained in the video. So we're going to get it going, and LSU will be kicking off to Georgia. LSU's kickoff is an A, which usually results in a touchback, and Georgia's kickoff return is a C. So we have to move these for that, and a roll of 4, that's going to be a touchback, and Georgia will start their first drive on the 25-yard line. And again, 11 drives for the game, so meaning basically split in half. There will be Georgia will get 6 drives in the first half, 5 in the second. LSU, opposite, 5 in the first, 6 in the second. So here we go. First portion of the drive at a +4 for the Bulldogs. Anything above 24 will not be a punt, and 77. That is actually going to be a big play, run big play 2 chart. And again, not keeping stats, so we will go straight to the big play result, and big play 2 on the run chart is going to be a 37-yarder for a single run, and that's going to get the ball down to the 38 as we jump into the second portion of the drive, and that's going to be a +7. So 17 or better, we are good. And 72 here, that's going to be a successful portion of the drive, 14. And again, you go to the quick play finish, and we actually will have to check for the drive killing penalty. We'll come back to that in just a second. So 2 plays, 29 yards. That will get it down inside the 10-yard line to the 9. And we'll go to the goal line mode. We have to check the penalty first. So Georgia, on their penalties 1 to 7, is an offensive penalty, and it is indeed going to be a penalty. And again, this is an optional method, and probably doing this type of simulation, you know what, we're not going to do penalties, because again, we're doing the simplest version, not keeping stats. So that's we'll just take that down to the 9. And forget I did that, so we don't even need to roll those dice. So now we're going to go to the goal line rating. Again, if a drive stalls at the 10 or closer to the goal line, you make one final D20 roll. Georgia's goal line rating is 11. LSU's goal line adjustment is +2. So 13 or more, it's punched in. 2, and that's a touchdown for the Georgia Bulldogs. 76 extra point is good, and they go up 7-0 here in the first quarter. LSU's turn now. And Georgia on their kickoff. Georgia's kickoff team is rated B, so a good possibility of a touchback there as well. In fact, 5 or less, and that is going to be a 6. That's going to be down to the goal line, and 2. LSU on the return is a D. 2D, and that's going to be a 16 yards, so LSU will take over on their own 16 to start their first drive of the ball game. LSU -5, so they need 47 or better. 79, and 79 is indeed going to be a successful drive, and going from inside the 20. 13 there is going to be a 5-play, 63-yard drive. It's going to go all the way down to the Bulldog 21-yard line, and second portion of the drive, unfortunately, is a -10. So they are going to need 40. That's not going to get it done. They're going to get stopped. So 4, you check in this column, it's 5 plays, 12 yards. So they're going to stall out down at the 9-yard line. And in this situation, you would not do the goal line result because the drive was actually stopped. So they're going to have to try a field goal. And 16, 26-yarder, 0-97. It's up, and it is good. So the Tigers are on the board. It is 7-3, Georgia in the first quarter. And Georgia set to receive the kickoff. And 7 is going to be a touchback. So Georgia, once again, will start on their own 25. First portion of the drive. Again, +4, so at 25 or better, they're in good shape. And 81, that's actually going to get up into some territory. Actually, no, that will be another big play run too. So we will check that off the Georgia big play chart off the team card, and that is going to be a 0, a 24-yard gain. So that gets it up to the 49-yard line. So they're going to have to stretch here to score on this as second portion of the drive. And again, this takes place at a +7 and a 68. That is going to be good at 19. And 19 is only going to be 2 plays for 20 yards. And I know in some situations here, this will not come out to the correct or expected math, I should say. But they're going to get bogged down there. And the plays and yards are basically just if you are keeping stats to make that accurate. So they're down to the 31-yard line, and they're going to have to try a field goal. This will be a 48-yard attempt. And for Georgia, 0-58, and that kick is missed. So LSU gets a stop. This will be the final drive of the first quarter. 7-3, Bulldogs are up. LSU takes over from their own 31. And LSU is going to have to punt, and 4, that is going to be 5 plays, 12 yards. So up to the 43-yard line, and LSU gets stopped, and they're going to punt it away as we come to the end of the first quarter. LSU punting the ball is a B, and Georgia's punt return is a C. All right, so B2, that is a 37-yard punt down to the 20-yard line, and on the return, a 3C, and 3C on the punt return is going to be a fair catch, so Georgia takes over on their own 20, and we're into the second quarter. Or actually, sorry, we will be after this drive. So last drive of the first quarter, and at a +4, Georgia's actually going to have to punt as well. And they 3 and out, 3 plays, 2 yards, so they're going to punt from the 22. So LSU, their defense keeping them in it early in this one as Georgia's set to punt. And Georgia punting the ball is an A, so 5A on the punt. And 5A, that's going to be a 48-yard punt. So that will go down to the LSU 30, and LSU on the return, a 1D on the punt return, and that will also be a fair catch. So the Tigers, as we start the second quarter, Georgia leads at 7-3, LSU. Each team will have 3 drives in the second quarter. LSU is going to get stopped again. However, 5 plays, 18 yards is all they can manage. So they do get up to their own 48. They're going to have to kick it away. And LSU 7B. 7B will be a 39-yard punt. So that will go down to the 13 and an 8 on the return. And again, Georgia on the punt return is a C. So 8C on the punt return, and that is going to be a 6-yard punt return. So Georgia takes over on the 19. And their first drive of the second quarter, leading 7-3, Georgia +4 and 56, and they're going to have a successful drive and 20. And again, looking at the 0 to 20 column, 2 plays, 48 yards. So it's going to get it down to the 33-yard line as they start the second portion of the drive. And here, +7, they only need above 16. They get a 14, they're going to get stopped. So 6 on the punt chart, 6 plays, 19 yards. So they get down to the 14, and they're going to have to try a 31-yard field goal now. And 0 to 75, kick is up and good, and Georgia takes a 10-3 lead here in the second quarter, getting set to kick off to LSU. 4, that's going to be a touchback, LSU on their own 25-yard line. So let's see if the Tigers can sustain a drive here, -5. They need 47 or better, and they get it, 72. And that will be a successful drive. And 2 going from the 25-yard line. That is going to be 7 plays, 44 yards. And that's all the way down to the Georgia 31. So LSU, though, facing an uphill battle. They need big numbers and not going to get it. They're going to get stopped once again. However, 5 plays, 22 yards. They get down to the 9, and they're going to have to stop and kick from there. 26-yard field goal, and piece of cake, up and good. So they cut the lead to 10-6 as Georgia receives their second kickoff of the game. And 9 on the kickoff A, that is down to the 5-yard line, and 8 on the return. 8 on the return is going to be 16, so that takes it out to the 21-yard line, and Georgia starts their next drive there. So the Bulldogs letting LSU hang around. It is 10-6. They need a successful drive here as we are passing the midway point of the second quarter. At a +4, 26, and they just get a successful drive there, and that'll be a 6 from the 21, and that is going to be 2 plays, 40 yards. So down to the 39-yard line, and second portion of the drive. 67, and that is going to be another success, and quick play finish, 2 plays, 20 yards here, and that gets it down to the 19. So they're going to have to try another field goal attempt as they did not reach the 10-yard line to get a chance to punch it in. So 7 back, this will be a 36-yarder, and the kick is up and good. So both defenses playing tight. It is now 13-6, and LSU is going to get the kickoff. Rolling the wrong dice, and that's going to be a touchback for the Bulldogs. So LSU now, -5 once again. 46 or less, they get stopped, and 74, they're going to have another successful drive, and from the 25, This is going to be 7 plays, 44 yards. And again, that's down to the 31-yard line. Let's see if the Tigers, and once again, they're going to get stopped. So 15, 3 plays, 7 yards. They get down to the 24. And this will be a 41-yard field goal as Georgia's defense bending and not breaking. So 0 to 74, and it is good. So the Tigers hanging around, and field goals all around in the second quarter. It is now 13 to 9, and this will be the last possession of the first half. LSU set to kick it off, and 6, that's going to be a touchback. So Georgia from the 25-yard line, their final drive of the first half, and LSU will get the second half kickoff. That is a 9-0-4, and Georgia is going to be stopped. They're going to have to kick it away. All right, on the punt, Georgia again on the punt is an A3A, and that is going to be in the wrong place. 3A's 42-yard punt. And we're only doing this to see if there will be a return at all. So that's down to the 33-yard line where that will be fielded by LSU, and LSU's punt return D. I'm not going to have anything good happen there. 5D is going to be no return, and that is the first half. So it is 13 to 9, a tightly contested game. The Bulldogs are not covering the spread yet, and LSU will get the second half kickoff. LSU now will get 6 drives in the second half. The Bulldogs 5. Here we go. Georgia kicking off. And 4B, that's going to be a touchback. LSU. -5. They need 47 or better. They're going to have to punt. And 18. 3 and out. No yards gained. And punt team comes on. And again, LSU has a good punter. 3B, that's going to be a 45-yard punt. So down to the 30-yard line where that will be fielded, and 0 on the return. Georgia's punt return is C, and we go to the team chart. So we'll roll again there on the team chart, and on their punt return, they've got a couple of okay results. 3. And that's actually going to be a 36-yard return. So that gets it all the way down to the 36-yard line. And now because they're in plus territory, the Bulldogs will go right to the second half of the quick play chart. And again, going on a +7 and 89. 89 is going to be a big play pass 2. So we'll go to the Georgia Big Play Pass 2 card, and again, looking at long pass. And 1, and that is going to be 41 yards. That's good enough to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Extra point is up and good. And Georgia makes it 20 to 9 here early in the third quarter. LSU ready for the kickoff. Oops. And again, using no optional rules, no stats. This is quick. This is strictly to show you how you can use quick play to play other teams in your conference, their games, if you're doing a conference replay. All right, 6 on the kickoff, and that's going to go down to the goal line. 3 on the return. And 3D is going to be a 12-yard return. Not very smart trying to bring that back, but LSU, this is their second drive of the third quarter. 47 or better, 25. They're going to get stopped again as Georgia's defense is just swarming. Only 5 yards on that drive, 3 plays. So LSU coming out to punt it away once again. And 6B, that is going to be a 41-yard punt. So 58 total. That's going to be fielded at the 42-yard line by Georgia, and a 9 on the return. And 9C, once again, we will go to the team sheet for the punt return. And again, some good results on there. 5 on the punt return, and that's going to be a 5-yard return. So up to the 47. And Georgia Their final drive of the third quarter starts there. And this is still in the first portion of the drive. It's in between the 36 and 50, so a +4. And +4, 31. That's good enough to be a successful drive at 20. And that's going to be at 2 plays, 25 yards. So that gets it all the way down to the 28. Second portion of the drive is +7. And Bulldogs looking to run away now. However, they're going to get stopped. 18. And 3 and out from right there. This will be a long field goal, 45 yards, Georgia. So LSU trying to stay in this one, and Georgia misses another field goal. So LSU is going to take over on the 28. And this will be the final possession of the third quarter. After that, each team will have 3 possessions in the fourth. So LSU now. Again, 47 or better, they're going to get stopped. Once again, Georgia's defense is just swarming. 5 more yards up to the 33. They're going to have to punt. And 1 on the punt, that's going to be 45 yards, or I'm sorry, 44. So 77 total, gets it down to the 23. And 7C on the return is going to be no return. Georgia takes over on their 23 as we start the fourth quarter. Only a single touchdown in that quarter, so heading into the fourth, it is Georgia up 20-9 over the LSU Fighting Tigers. Each team will get 3 drives here, and this is Georgia's first. Here we go. All right, 0-3, and LSU rising to the occasion. It's going to be a stop, and that's actually going to be 3 and out, -2D6, so -7. Back to the 16, and Georgia's going to have to punt from there. So big stop for LSU as, again, they look to hang around and stay in this game. Georgia punting is an A, so 3A is a 42-yard punt. And that will be fielded at the 42. LSU on the return. LSU's return is a D, 3D, and it's going to be a fair catch. So LSU, from their own 42, looking to make a little magic here. Again, 47 or better, 69, and they get it. So they're going to have a successful drive, and looking for the upset here, potentially. From their own 42, a 12, and that's going to be 5 plays, 39 yards. That's going to take it all the way down to the 19 for the second portion of the drive. And there is an optional rule for quick play if you are within 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, if you want to go for it. If you do get stopped, again, no, using no optional rules here, as we are just playing through. LSU needs a huge roll. Don't get it, and that's going to be a 7. 5 plays, 18 yards, though, and that's all the way down to the 1, and that's where they get stopped. If you are down close enough and you roll here in the stop or punt column, and you do get enough yards to score in quick play, it will be a touchdown. Unfortunately, LSU is going to settle for their 4th field goal of the game. It is 20-12. They do pull within 8, though. So Georgia's defense stiffening up as it gets down into plus territory, and 0 is going to be a touchback. Georgia on the 25. Here we go. Too close still. They're looking for a drive to put this away. 79, and they are going to get a big play run. All right, big play run. That's 37 yards, and that will be 55-62 down to the 38. Second portion of the drive, and here, 6 or 17 or better. They get that comfortably. 43 is going to be a successful drive, and 8. 8 on the second portion is 4 plays, 26 yards, and that gets it down to the 12. Not close enough to go for the goal line roll, so they're going to have to kick a 29-yard field goal attempt here, and that's up and good. So Georgia answers, and it's now 23-12. LSU 2 drives left, Georgia 1. Here's the Bulldog kickoff, and B. It's going to be a touchback, and LSU takes over, throwing 25. 24, they're going to get stopped, and 5 plays 18 yards. Up to the 43, Tigers are going to punt. And 2 on the punt, 2B. 37 yards. And that's going to go down to the 20-yard line. And on the return there, a 3 on the return. 3C is going to be a fair catch. So Georgia takes over on their own 20. Final drive of the game for the Bulldogs. And again, just simulating here. They're going to get stopped. So LSU may have a chance to pull the upset here. It's going to be 3 plays, 5 yards. So the Tigers hanging in there defensively. And if LSU does score, we will do the close late rule, which again is also in that video. And LSU here, 60 on -5. It's going to be a successful first part of the drive. I'm sorry, I have to punt there. Never mind. 6 on the punt. Sorry about that. That's 40 yards. So that goes down to the 35-yard line. And 0 on the return is going to go to the team chart. And team punt return for LSU, nothing too outstanding there. A roll of 3 is going to be a 5-yard return. Up to the 40, so good field position for the Tigers. And 42. That is not going to get it done, and they will be stopped. And again, and actually here we could, because this drive gets stopped and they're in Hail Mary range, and we should do this because it's still a fairly close game. It is 23-12. Obviously, that's not within 1 touchdown though. So we'll just go ahead and show you how the Hail Mary works. Again, it's not going to matter here, but if it was 8 points or less and you got to this stage on the last drive, even though you're just playing this to build records and not record stats or anything, go ahead and roll on the Hail Mary chart, which is right here. So it will tell you how far the ball is thrown, and these will tell you if it is caught or not. So from the 49, a 1, that is 62 yards, needs to be a 0 to 5, it's 14, incomplete, and that's your ball game. All right, so Georgia, LSU put up a much stiffer fight than expected. The Bulldogs escaped with a 23-12 win. Could have been much greater. Defense, of course, was stout as LSU penetrated their territory. So that's basically it, a look, and we got through that even with stopping in about just under 25 minutes, about 25 minutes. So that's how quick you can use this to simulate other teams' games if you're playing a conference project where you want to create standings. So that's it, quick play mode, and this is probably the simplest, quickest way to play the game. And again, 20 to 25 minutes. If you're not talking, doing videos, definitely you can get through a simulated game with no stats in 20 minutes. So Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, hope you all enjoyed this. And again, leave questions and comments, and we'll talk to you later. Hope you all have a good night.